Hello everyone, welcome to CNA, the daily newspaper analysis. So today we are back with the following list of topics to discuss. So let's start. The first topic says about recently the Office of the Registrar General of India, they have followed some of the absolute criteria to define scheduled tribes. Okay, so therefore we could see that यहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत एक issue चल रहा है कि like recently they have said that the criteria set out by the local committee which has been formed to define the scheduled tribes in this region of India. So they are the indications of primitive traits, distinctive culture, geographical isolation, shyness of contact with the community at large, backwardness. तो ये सब criteria होना चाहिए through on the basis of local community. So we could see the tribal scheduled tribes population in our country. Okay, so scheduled tribe population is maximum in regions like Chhattisgarh, in regions like Sikkim, and the portions of Northeast except Assam. Okay, so we have got two states who does not have got a small proportions of the scheduled tribes, basically Punjab and Haryana. Okay, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग को scheduled tribe नहीं मिलता है, ठीक है? तो you could see all the respective categories of scheduled tribes that we can see in our country. Okay, so therefore today if I say about the tribe, so these tribes are the native peoples of the land who are believed to be the earliest settlers in the Indian peninsula, and they are generally called as Adivasis, implying original inhabitants. So today we have got a tribal population as accorded by the 2011 census that we have got a national average of 8.6%, which amounts to around 104 million of scheduled tribe peoples in our country. Okay, so therefore today if you see about the definition of scheduled tribe, so it has been mentioned under Article 366, Part 25 of the Constitution of India, which defines scheduled tribes under the prescribed recommendations. So even the Article 342 has given or prescribes the procedure to be followed in the matter of specification of scheduled tribe. Okay, so therefore, if you see about the peoples who are the scheduled tribes, so they have recently has got increase, and even we could see two schedules, be it the schedule 5 or the schedule 6. They are also referred to as the scheduled tribes. So therefore we have got classifications of tribes that is basically state wise on the basis of ethnicity and location. Okay, so supposedly if you see about the classifications of tribes based on ethnicity, so that we could see about the Negritos, the Proto-Australoids, the Mongoloids, the Mediterraneans, the Western Bursiphiles, and the Nordics. Okay, so these are some of the categories that we can see in our country. तो आज यहाँ पे जो ये committees ने setup किया गया है, so the criteria which has been used to designate the scheduled tribes, okay, basically state wise, तो आज यहाँ पे conditions दूसरा किया गया है, and therefore there is a constant number of some number of disputes that is occurring with respective to such number of definition of scheduled tribes, because यहाँ पे जो essential characteristics है of these communities are basically they have to be primitive, they have to be having a geographical isolation, they should have a distinctive culture, they should have a shy, and they should have a economical backwardness. So ये एक टाइम में लोकल कमेटी ने यहाँ पे सेटअप कर दिया था. ओके, सो ये आजकल के टाइम में ऑब्सोल्यूट कंडेंसेंसी डॉगमेटिक एंड रिजिड बताया गया है. तो यहाँ पे बोला गया है कि यहाँ पे एक जो सेटअप किया गया था लोकल कमेटी के द्वारा, तो ये चेंजेस लाना बहुत जरूरी है इन दिस प्रेजेंट इंस्टेंट ऑफ टाइम. So therefore, the government task force on scheduling tribes constituted under the leadership of Tribal Affairs Secretary Rushikesh Panda in February had concluded that this criteria may have become obsolete considering the process of transition and acculturation. Because आजकल जैसे हम लोग देखते हैं कि ट्राइबल्स के हिसाब से नहीं रह रहे. Today we could see that they are directly changing themselves with various number of practices, and also their acculturation with various number of other communities or religion. तो उसी के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे उनका जो एक क्राइटेरिया है लोकल कमेटी का क्राइटेरिया, तो उसको चेंज करने के लिए यहाँ पे डिमांड उठा है. तो इसी के बेसिस पे ये डिस्कशन पे थे. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं. Inactive incentive to promote digital payments. So recently what we have seen that the government or like the center has earmarked around rupees 2600 crore as an incentive for banks to promote digital payments. Okay, so therefore the government recently today uh, they have they have directly under the scheme said the banks that they will provide financial incentive for promoting the point of sale, that is the POS, and e-commerce transactions using the RuPay debit cards and a low low value VIM UPI transactions. Okay, this fund will be paid to the banks with a view of lack of merchant discount rate. Okay, so this incentive scheme will facilitate the building of a robust digital payment ecosystem and also promote the Indian made RuPay system and the BHIM UPI. तो इन दोनों को हम लोग को आज बढ़ाने के लिए इसको हम लोग को करना ही पड़ेगा फॉर गोइंग विद दिस डिजिटल पेमेंट सिस्टम. सो वी नो अबाउट दिस रूपे इज अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ नेशनल पेमेंट्स Corporation of India, NPCI, which is an umbrella organization for operating indigenous retail payments and settlement systems in India. Okay, so therefore, these products that are offered by RuPay is having both debit as well as this credit cards, and also it has the prepaid and Kisan credit cards as well. So there are various advantages of getting a RuPay card. Okay, so आज हम लोग यहाँ पे सोच रहे हैं about UPI Lite, which is a new payment solution that leverages a trusted technology to process low value transactions that have been set at below rupees 200. So UPI 123 Pay is an instant payment system for feature phone users who can use UPI payment service in a safe and secure manner. तो उसी के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे सिंस गवर्नमेंट का इंसेंटिव्स है, स्पेशल इंसेंटिव्स है, तो वहां पे 2600 करोड़ का एक ले ऑफ दिया गया है टू प्रमोट एंड इंसेंटिवाइज द बैंक्स फॉर दिस डिजिटल पेमेंट्स. ओके, तो इसी के बेसिस पे ये डिस्कशन थे. तो यहाँ पे यूपीआई लाइट और यूपीआई 123 पेमेंट के बारे में भी बताया गया है. ठीक है, तो आज देख सकते हो कि फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2021-22 में कितना राइज हुआ है हम लोग का डिजिटल पेमेंट्स. तो इसको हम लोग और रियलाइज करना चाहते हैं, एंड दैट इज बेसिकली एन इंक्रीज ऑफ 23% हैज बीन सीन फ्रॉम द प्रीवियस फिस्कल ईयर ऑफ 2017-18. ओके, तो उसी के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे हम लोग का एक एनालिसिस किया गया है फ्रॉम द लास्ट 5 इयर्स, एंड इसी के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे एलोकेशन दिया है ताकि हम लोग इसको और बढ़ा पाए. ओके, नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं. 3 multi-state societies to produce and distribute seeds. So today we could see that the production of quality of seeds will reduce dependence on imports and provide a boost to the rural economy, says Cooperation Ministry. So recently, why it has been in news? Because the Union Cabinet, which has been chaired by Prime Minister Modi, decided to set up a national level multi-state seed cooperative society under the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act of 2002. So PM stated that the efforts needs to be given to meet and utilize the strengths of cooperatives and transform them into successful and dynamic business enterprises to recognize the vision of सहकार से समृद्धि. तो हम लोग का जो एक मिशन है सहकार से समृद्धि, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मिशन है. ओके, सहकार से समृद्धि, तो इसको हम लोग को अगर स्ट्रेंथन करना है तो इसको हम लोग को रिकॉग्नाइज करना पड़ेगा. सो देयरफॉर दिस पीएम हाइलाइटेड दैट द कोऑपरेटिव्स होल्ड द की टू रूरल इकोनॉमिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन इन एग्रीकल्चर एज वेल एज इन allied sectors. Okay, so therefore these cooperative societies, which includes primary societies, district, states and national level federations and multi-state cooperative societies, can also become a member of these respective organizations too. So therefore, the Ministry of Cooperation, which is the Union Ministry of Cooperation, which was formed in July 2021. So they aim to provide a separate administrative, legal, and policy framework for strengthening the cooperative movement in the country. So therefore, this minister, which was created with the vision of Sahkar Essay Samriddhi, that is prosperity through cooperation. So they wants to promote the ease of doing business for cooperatives and encourage the development of these multi-state cooperatives. So therefore today यहाँ पे इसीलिए न्यूज में था कि हम लोग कैसे एक मल्टी स्टेट सोसाइटी के तरफ यहाँ पे बढ़ा जाए, ताकि हम लोग यहाँ पे जो कोऑपरेटिव्स के थ्रू से हम लोग सीड्स को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हैं, तो इसका एक बड़ा बहुत रोल प्ले करे ताकि हम लोग इजीली यहाँ पे डेवलप कर सके और हम लोग सबको थ्रू ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड इन द प्रोसेस एंड इंडिपेंडेंस वी कुड डायरेक्टली मेक देम फंक्शन थ्रू देयर बेटर कोऑपरेशन. तो उसी के बेसिस पे ये डिस्कशन थे. ओके, नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं. UK-Japan Defense Pact. So recently we have even seen that the UK and Japan signed a defense pact which will permit the deployment of troops in each other countries and increase security cooperation. So this move came as Britain is undertaking a tilt towards the Indo-Pacific region in its foreign and security policy. So the reciprocal SS agreement is hugely significant for both of the nation because it cements commitment to the Indo-Pacific and underlines joint efforts to bolster the economic security, accelerate defense cooperation, and drive innovation that creates high-scale jobs. So this agreement would allow both the forces to plan and deliver large-scale, more complex military exercises and deployments, and also called it the most significant treaty between the countries since 1902, when the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Alliance was signed. So recently, even we see that in December, Japan's FX fighter jet program was merged with the UK and Italy's Tempest program to create the Global Combat Air Program. So UK and Japan has also launched a digital partnership last month to increase coordination in semiconductors, cyber resilience, and also online safety. So therefore, this present developments has also basis for a country like India, who is also very much interested to join the Indo-Pacific forums. So आज अगर हम लोग इंडो पैसिफिक में हम लोग को फोकस करना पड़ता है, तो यहाँ पे हमारा एक मेजर प्लेयर बेसिकली यूके, जिसके साथ हम लोग का बहुत सारे एग्रीमेंट्स आज हम लोग का पेंडिंग है, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग को यूके को हम लोग को एक कॉन्फिडेंस में लेना पड़ेगा, so that we could even make some of the good free trade agreements signed between these two countries, so that we could benefit out from the market access of the respective Britain's territory. तो इसी के बेसिस पे ये डिफेंस पैक्ट था, जहां पे अभी से अलाउमेंट डिप्लॉयमेंट्स होगा, तो इंडो पैसिफिक में यूके का जो एक इन्फ्लुएंस है वो अभी बढ़ता दिखाई देगा, एंड ऑल्सो इट इज बेसिकली टू काउंटर चाइना एंड इट्स राइवलरीज लाइक रशिया. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं. Lastly, China's oil gambit in Taliban's Afghanistan. So this is basically, or this article directly highlights the signing of a multi-million-dollar deal between Xinjiang Central Asia Petroleum and Gas Corporation and the Taliban in Kabul. Okay, so this $540 million deal gives China access to a region which is known as Amu Darya Basin in northern Afghanistan. Okay, so therefore today we could see that the Afghanistan has small and medium-sized mineral fields, most of which remains unexplored. So Afghanistan is estimated to have an untapped resource of more than $1 trillion. And Afghanistan has got huge deposits of copper, iron, marble, talc, coal, lithium, chromite, cobalt, gold, gemstone, ये सब बहुत है. So today China is aiming for a critical strategic aim, keeping Afghanistan and Central Asia out of the reach of the West. So China has been receptive to the Taliban and has been the most visible power in Afghanistan since the Taliban took charge. So China's approaches to Afghanistan would have Pakistan at the center, so that both states are tied to a larger project such as the Belt and Road Initiative and even the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. But there is having some of the problems with respect to China's interests, because Russia's invasions on Ukraine has offered space for the US to re-engage in Central Asia. Also, we could see that it has pushed the Taliban to act against Uyghur-led militant groups operating inside Afghan territory. So rapid deterioration of the security situations between the Taliban and Pakistan, specifically over the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, will throw a spanner in China's plan. So the recent attacks against Chinese targets in Kabul and Pakistan will also test Chinese poor records of dealing with Islam as a religion, society, and culture. So therefore, the new Pakistan's Afghanistan strategy will not instill much confidence in Beijing's power corridors. So Taliban is aiming to establish a successful Islamic emirate, and a prolonged economic depression which have not been overcome yet by Afghanistan as well as Pakistan. So it's directly a grave challenge today we could see in this respective region. So therefore, the success or failure of the oil deal of $540 million could determine the future of Afghanistan-China cooperation. So China would be wary of not becoming another footnote in the graveyard of empires story. तो आज तक यहाँ पे हम लोग जितने भी देखे, तो अफगानिस्तान को क्या बोलते हैं? ग्रेवयार्ड ऑफ एम्पायर्स. तो आज ये हम लोग यहाँ क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि आज तक कोई भी यहाँ पे पावर जीत नहीं पाया है. तो आज चाइना का भी अगर वो हाल हो गया, तो therefore China will also be kicked out from this region of Afghanistan, and therefore India is never interested in this region of Afghanistan. So therefore अभी देखते हैं कि वो लोग ने तो प्रोसेस शुरू कर दिया है, तो अभी देखते हैं कि फिलहाल एक टाइम में पाकिस्तान भी सपोर्ट कर रहे थे अफगानिस्तान को, तो आज तो कट्टर दुश्मन बन गए दोनों. तो अभी देखते हैं इस $540 मिलियन डील में क्या क्या नया देखने को मिलता है in the current foreign policies of the respective countries of the Asian continent. Okay, so that is all for this editorial today. So we have these 5 number MCQs. Please do attempt these MCQs and do join our WhatsApp as well as Telegram channel for further updates. And also do join us regularly at 8:45 p.m. for the prelims related questions that will be solved at the YouTube channel of CSAP Live. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and Jai Hind.